Hey everybody, this is Mark Richards, the owner of Wasatch Recovery and a proud sponsor of Todd Sylvester's BeliefCast. We are excited to have you join us as we discuss Wasatch Recovery's unique treatment programs for overcoming addictions and techniques for developing a healthier lifestyle. We call this the Wasatch Way. Wasatch Recovery's goal is to instill hope, teach resilience, and help you achieve recovery. Enjoy today's podcast.
And we're back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in once again. This is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast, and today is going to be an episode of the Wasatch Way. We've been doing this now for, I think, almost 3 months, and it's been fantastic. Thank you for tuning in. We really do appreciate your support. So many people have reached out to Mark through this platform, and we've gotten people help, and people have checked into rehab, and it's been fantastic. And we've had some great guests on, and today, obviously, I'm joined by the owner of Wasatch Recovery, Mark Richards. And then we also have Wendy Smart McCarter. She is a licensed therapist. She's a CMHC. She is our clinical director. And she's been at Wasatch now for how long? How long has it been?
Almost 7 years.
7 years. And Wendy's fantastic at what she does. She is an amazing therapist. She's on today to kind of give her perspective on what we do with the therapeutic process here at Wasatch, and maybe kind of how we might be a little different, or, you know, just I think we do an amazing approach, and that's tough, hard, but we get results. And so thanks for joining us, Wendy.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So maybe we just start off, Wendy, with give us a little background. You've been on my podcast before, by the way, which has been great.
Ago.
It's been a while. Yeah. It's still one of the top downloaded episodes.
Well, of course it is.
Of course. But no, you got a great story. You live a very, inspiring life, in my opinion.
Thank you.
You speak your mind. You speak the truth. And some people get really uncomfortable with that, but we love it here, and especially for our clients, that it's exactly what they need. And so maybe kind of give us a little background with you, and then kind of what you do here at Wasatch Recovery.
So I am a single mom of 3. 2 of them are adult children now. So I've been mostly a mom in my life for exactly half my life now. I've been a mom.
Wow.
And that's most important to me. And then I've been a therapist since I graduated in 2010. So since I graduated, I've been in the substance abuse treatment field. That seems to be my passion. I think of it as a calling in life. I don't know why, but here I am. I love it. It's the most rewarding thing in my life besides my kids.
Yeah, your kids, by the way, are all doing good things.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
You've done a great job raising them.
Thank you.
Yeah, very impressed. So you obviously love what you do here. We know that you're always showing up, and you're passionate about what you do. The clients end up loving you. They may not like you at first.
Most of them don't like me at first. I think that's because of what you said earlier. I speak very directly to people. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that we do differently at Wasatch is we talk to people as though they're strong. And in addiction, I feel like families and supportive people start to walk on eggshells because they don't want to push their loved ones into relapse or further into addiction. And so they find themselves in this pattern with people where people coddle them or rescue them or, try to buffer them from their own consequences. And so when they come here and they meet me and I'm very direct, I don't think I would consider myself harsh or mean or unkind, but I do speak to people in a very truthful and direct way. Yeah. And it's something that they're not used to. But I think that they're stronger than they realize. So I talk to people as though they can handle the truth and face the truth. And as they get to know me and kind of lean into this process, I think the clients learn to appreciate what it is I'm doing. But it's not always welcomed right at first. Absolutely.
Yeah, like I mean, even some clients will they'll even get together and even gang up on you sometimes, right?
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, how you handle that is very impressive. Like you just take it almost in stride. I know it affects you because you're a human being, and
Sure.
but at the same time, you keep being you. You don't change up. I love that.
Yeah, I really love this work, and I really love seeing people come to respond to this idea that they're stronger than they realize, that they can handle things. I think of addiction as though it's this avoidance of suffering, this perpetual avoidance of real pain. And so when they start breaking out of that and start like approaching their pain and experiencing their pain and being honest with themselves about what it is that's underlying all of this pain, there's this really empowering thing that happens where they're like, wow, I actually can handle this without drugs or alcohol or without this toxic person that I've been so dependent on, or whatever it is in their life that they've been using to avoid that. It's such a freeing thing. And I love seeing that process happen.
Yeah. And obviously we got Mark with us as well. Mark, I know, you admittedly will say you don't like even going up into the process room because it's so tough, right?
He starts sweating pretty quick.
I do. I can't. It's just difficult for me because I get uncomfortable, and coming from a person who is kind of a peacemaker, sometimes enabling.
He's minimizing right now.
Knowing that I can be direct, but I'm probably not as confident in as being as direct as Wendy is. It just does. I look at them and I go, wow. But at the same time, it just gives me so much pride to sit there and listen to Wendy and listen to the clinical staff and how they get right to the root of the issue. Yeah. It's so important to me as an owner, and I really have grasped that concept because I see so many facilities that sit on the surface, and these people get stuck in this revolving door of going to rehab because they never get to the root of the issue. And our goal is, and I tell every client this as they come in the door, we're going to push you and we're going to find out why you're using drugs and alcohol. And it's not just because you like it. I know it's not. There's something there, and we're going to find it. And if you'll allow us to find it, you're going to be a champ hereafter. And it's amazing. Just like Wendy says, at first they hate it because it forces them to feel.
Yeah.
And the minute they start to accept that feeling again and see it, I mean, you can see the light turn on in their eyes. And I just love that. I mean, that's why I do it, honestly.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm really impressed with you, Wendy, is that there's a lot of facilities that won't even let you mention your trauma. Like you don't even bring it up because they feel like we don't need to talk about it, but you go right to it. Why do you do that? Like, why is that? Because trauma can be a scary thing to talk about for people, but you get right to it and you help these people start talking about exactly what they've gone through.
Well, I don't think you can even treat substance abuse unless you get to the trauma in a person, and trauma can look a lot of different ways, and so it really depends on the person what trauma means to them. But so one of the measures that I use with clients is called the ACEs scale. It's the Adverse Childhood Experience, and it's a pretty basic. I don't think it goes super deep, but it's 10 different items and 10 different like negative things that can happen in a person's childhood before the age of 18. And what they've found is that if a person has four is kind of the threshold, and if they have 4 or more, then they're much more likely to struggle in life, whether that's unemployment or divorce or substance abuse or other mental health issues. And even so far as health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, all of those things go way up if they have 4 or more. Oh, wow. And I've done this scale with clients randomly over the years that I've been here. And the average here at Wasatch with our clients, any guesses what it is?
Gosh. I would say 7 maybe.
That's what I would have said. 7,
it's about
probably.
6.5 or 7.
Wow.
And that's consistent. So I think that speaks to like why they're here.
Yeah.
And so I think of my clients in terms of attachment. So what were their relationships like with their primary caregiver, and how safe did they feel as a child, and how did that affect how they developed as a person.
Right.
And so when Mark talks about like in process group, we get really deep and we get to like the core.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's referring to, is we get to these early experiences that shaped their belief systems, that shape how they view the world and how they think about themselves. And we really like challenge that and have them process that and help them start to understand like why they're thinking the way that they're thinking, and that doesn't have to be the only way that they think and approach problems in their life.
Right.
So it does get pretty deep. We have 3 hours a day of process groups, and those are intense.
Yes, they are.
We have a lot of fun. I think that's another thing about
Yeah.
Wasatch is there will be a lot of tears and a lot of crying and a lot of emotion in those rooms, but if you're outside that room on any given day, you'll also hear a lot of laughter.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where the magic happens, honestly, in everything we do here at Wasatch. And we do so much. We're such a well-rounded program.
Yeah.
But if you ask the clients as they're leaving, where did they learn the most, or where did the most magic happen? I think they'll say in process group.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty amazing. And I think one thing that you're really good at too, Wendy, is that as hard as you are at times, at least the way it comes across in those processes, that you actually do it because you care about them. And I think sometimes they might think, oh, this Wendy woman doesn't care about me the way she's. It's like, no, she actually
she's coming
does care.
at me, or
Yeah.
she's attacking me.
Yeah.
Or, right. I hear that a lot, but I'm really attacking the thinking errors that they have, or the distorted ways that they're thinking. I'm not attacking the person, and it takes a minute to latch on to that because when our thinking is challenged, it creates an emotional response in the brain. Like the cognitive side of the brain doesn't go into functioning, it's the emotional side. So that's a normal response, is to get defensive or feel guarded. So I understand that that's hard, but it just takes some time and they come around.
Yeah. You know, I love that you say we're going to treat you as if you're strong.
Yeah.
I love that approach versus you're this weak, fragile person. We can't say anything. And, you know, I love that.
Yeah.
You know,
I love seeing people like accept that. And so I'll give someone an assignment. I'm thinking of a client recently. I gave her an assignment to write this letter, and it seemed so big and so hard that she avoided it. And I really pushed her, and I wasn't going to let her off the hook. And then she did it, and she had all these realizations about that came from going through this process of writing this letter. And I just love seeing that spark of like, wow, this thing I've been avoiding is way more approachable than I thought it was.
Yeah.
And I can do these hard things.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. No. So Mark, you know, knowing that you have Wendy, you know, as our clinical director, how does that feel as an owner, knowing that you have someone as smart and as capable, you know, honestly, and this is truly a sincere question. Like, how does that feel just knowing that this place is being ran by Wendy?
Well, it really is amazing from an owner's perspective, somebody who's involved on a daily basis. And we all know that there's not a lot that are. But for me to come in and to see how she does it, not only with the clients, but with the staff, because she's also in charge of management of the clinical and probably a lot more than that. And just to see how her confidence and how she does it, it really is amazing for me to just look at her and go, okay, I don't have to worry one bit about my clients. And really, that is so important to me because I care about these people so much. And I know Wendy and how she handles these people. And I know that tough love, if we want to call it that, is going to be effective.
Right.
And that's all I'm doing this for, is to be effective. I want to see people change. And I know Wendy and the rest of our staff together are going to hold people accountable. They're going to practice what they preach to these people. And that's where that honesty comes in.
Yeah.
So often we have residents come in and not one of them knows how to tell the truth at this point. They manipulate. They try and get anything they possibly can because they're stuck in their addiction. And here's Wendy, who's holding them accountable, who's as honest as it gets.
Yeah, she sees right through it.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're expecting them to try and be honest. And I just watch her, and they know immediately, I'm either going to have to make this choice to do it this way, or I'm going to have to fold and go somewhere else, because as uncomfortable as it is, I know now I'm going to have to make a change, and I'm going to have to make it in a hurry. And I just don't see other people doing that. And so I have full confidence in her, and it's just so comforting to me to just know that I can turn it over to her. And it's awesome. It really is awesome. I mean, Wendy, you're amazing.
Thank you. And I would say I'm not alone in this amazingness. We have a great team of therapists here that I find myself relaxing in. I've worked on other teams, and I would say our team here is just incredible in that they're all passionate. They're all of a similar mindset in how they work with the clients. They're all very diligent, hardworking people, which is unfortunately uncommon.
Yeah, it is.
So I love the people that we have, not just the other clinicians, but if you look around at Wasatch, you see like the staff we have here are people that are here because they love this job. And one of the things I've said about this job is I would do it for free. I love it that much. Like, I don't really mean that, Mark. Please don't adjust my salary or anything.
She doesn't need her next paycheck. She's good.
I mean, but I really would. Like, if I hit the lottery or something, I would still want to come to work the next day because I love it that much. And I feel like our staff here are really that invested and committed and engaged in this process out of this like pure driven, I don't know, I don't understand it, but it's contagious around here.
For sure. And
we have such a great vibe and energy in this place, and I think that seeps down to the clients, and they really feel this optimism and this positivity and this like gratitude to be in this place. And it comes from the staff and it comes from the therapists. So I just love our team here.
I love our team too, Toddy. You know, and just going off of what Wendy said, it's amazing because, you know, the upper staff have it and they're so passionate, and you see the trickle effect all the way down to the line staff, and they'll see the passion in just our line staff with the clients. And I often hear from the residents, man, your line staff is amazing. And they're such incredible people. And I think that comes from literally the trickle effect, because the passion from above, it just trickles right down to the line staff, and then it trickles into the residents, and they feel it. And it really is different. We've talked about that before in the past on this, you know, on this type of episode. I just think there's a spirit here. And when I hire people, my first question is, are you passionate about people? And are you passionate about this business? Because if you're not, I don't want you. You know, that's so true. That's so important to me.
I agree with both of you. This place is different for that reason. We love what we do. We love helping people, and it starts with you, Mark, and it spills down. And Wendy, you're a great example of that as well. And it's great to be, you know, led by someone like you. You know, there's a few things I want to touch on. I mean, you got many things that you're good at here in therapy. One of the things that you really talk a lot about is boundaries. That's kind of one of your passions, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why, just real quick for our listeners, people tuning in, like boundaries is something that people have a hard time doing because they're afraid they're going to offend someone, or I can't tell them that. Or so why do you touch on that so much with our clients? Because obviously I think they don't have the boundaries they should.
Yeah. I think a real key to sobriety is this notion of self-love and self-care. And people come into treatment so depleted and so drained and so desperately clinging to whatever relationship they have, because connection is is why we're here.
Yeah, right.
I'm quoting Brene Brown on that, but
Yes.
we'll just pretend I said that.
Yeah.
Connection is like why we're here.
Yeah.
I fully believe that. And so we struggle with boundaries because making other people uncomfortable, we're so afraid that we're going to lose them, that we blur those boundaries, we blur those areas that keep us feeling safe within ourselves and within our relationships in order to hold on. And then we find ourselves just drained and resentful and struggling in relationships.
Right.
Boundaries are so key to like having healthy relationships, not just with other people, but with ourselves. And if we can start there by protecting like our own emotional energy and our own ability to love, then we're going to be healthier versions of ourselves, and the need for drugs or alcohol or addiction of any kind goes way down.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And I know you do a really good job. Like, you know, you do family night in our rotation that we have here. And I know a lot of times you do one on boundaries, and without fail, the clients afterwards are like, oh man, I mean, that was so good to really fully understand what boundaries actually means. Loving myself and loving those that I'm setting the boundary with. I don't think they saw it that way. Yeah.
Letting people know what it is that I need in order to feel safe.
Yeah.
And that's what boundaries are. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about what boundaries are. They think
For
that
sure.
they're rules in relationship.
Yeah.
They think that there's these lines that we draw in the sand. And that's really not what boundaries are about. They're just about what do I need and what do I need to communicate to the people that love me so that they know how I feel safe, how I feel respected, how I experience trust between me and them. And if we can get better at communicating that, then we help people know how to love us and how to support us. And there's less resentment happening.
Yeah, love that. Thank you for sharing that. So another question I have for you, Wendy, is if there's a family member listening to this right now, listening to you, and they've got someone who's, you know, they want to check their son in or their daughter or their loved one, you know, what would they expect? I guess, I mean, how would they get that person to come in here knowing that this is a tough program, but yet also a very effective program? What's some advice you could maybe give them?
Oh man, good luck. I wouldn't trade places with a parent.
Yeah.
That's of a child struggling with addiction. That is a really hard role.
Yeah.
But as someone who has loved someone with addiction, I would say boundaries saved my life and saved my sanity.
Yeah.
So I would encourage the family to maybe get some of their own support to figure out what those boundaries need to be and how to set those boundaries. Because it's those boundaries that are going to encourage that person struggling with addiction to get into treatment. I think a reasonable boundary is not to allow anyone to use or to be in addiction in your home.
Yeah.
And so if you're in that situation, then you need to look at what needs to happen. That person needs to be in treatment if they're actively abusing and putting themselves in harm's way through this substance and living in your home, then you are in essence enabling that to continue to happen.
Yeah. Wow. Would you add anything to that, Mark?
You know, I just think again we've gone over this a little bit in the past, but just taking that courage to take that step. You know, I often talk about that 20 seconds of insane courage to be able to invite, if you want to call it that, invite that family member to do something, to get out of their comfort zone, to come to treatment.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people just need somebody to ask. Again, I think as family members, we walk on eggshells and we're so afraid to say, hey, you know, hey, let's do this. You know, we might push them away and they might run. But really the addict or the person who's struggling just wants somebody to care enough to say, hey, we're going to support you through this.
Yeah.
Let's get you here. And it's amazing what that does is just to be assertive enough. Again, another principle that we teach so well here is just being assertive enough to go, okay, I'm going to forget the fear part of it. And I'm going to approach these, you know, this loved one of mine and say, I care enough I care enough. You might be upset right at this moment, but I care enough to do this. And it's amazing how many times it actually will hit them and go, you know what, it's time.
Yeah, very well said. Wendy, you have a quote about what addiction is, and it's something I've used ever since I heard you say it. Do you mind sharing what your definition of addiction is and explain it?
Yeah, the perpetual avoidance of legitimate suffering.
Wow.
Yeah, we think addiction is just people using substances, and there's a lot of shame involved, and people don't really understand what it is at the core that's driving that addiction process. But if you really get to it, there's something very painful going on with that person. Anyone struggling with addiction is not enjoying their life. They are not thriving. They are not choosing that because it's fun. They may tell you that, I just like how I feel. But there's a reason why they need to feel better.
Yeah, right.
And they're in pain. They're suffering. They really, truly are. And so if you love someone that is struggling with addiction, try to see their pain. And it increases compassion. It increases understanding. And I think it increases a willingness to nudge them towards help.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're here all the time. We love having people come do tours and ask us questions. And we have a great staff that is willing to help families if they're curious about this process. Give us a call, because we've guided a lot of families through getting this started.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think, and that definition just hits it spot on. I love that definition. One of the things, and I want to make it clear, as hard as you are and as tough as you are, you're also very compassionate at the same time. Like, I think that's what the clients ultimately start to see with you, is that, so for those listening, if they're like, man, it sounds like a tough program, it's like, well, it is, but at the same time, like you mentioned earlier, we have our times where we're laughing and all this, but you're also very compassionate, and that's something you try to live by.
Absolutely. I think I try to really balance how I don't even think I'm that tough. Like, everyone else thinks I'm tough. I don't think I'm that tough. I think I'm just honest. So I don't even like this phrase, tough love. I just think of it as love. I just think of it as honesty and being with someone that's having a hard time and, not taking it on, but allowing them to sit with their pain. And I think that's compassion. Yeah. So I was taught way back when I was in school that relationship is the key to the therapeutic process. You have to build a relationship. And so I think that's part of why I'm able to push people and they're able to go deeper, is because I developed that rapport with them that's so key to moving through this process. I really invest in the clients and let them know that, I'm a safe person. Yeah, no, and I love that. And that's, again, what makes us different. This program's amazing. It really is. At the end of the day, we're definitely not perfect by any stretch, but I'll tell you, we do a damn good job, and we will never apologize for what we do up here. We do a great job. And again, it's so great knowing that when I know a client's with you, I'm like, man, they're getting the best stuff right now, honestly, like, and everyone's always like, I can't believe the owner's here every day. I know the owner by personally.
I can't believe that there's not more owners that do it. I've said that also on this episode, because it's honestly the most gratifying part of my life. Again, like Wendy says, other than my family, it's the most gratifying thing. And I actually look at it as my family. And I look at you guys as part of my family. And I think taking that approach and really seeing these people as becoming part of your family creates that level of trust with them. That's where they feel it. And again, once they trust, we know they can get vulnerable. And I think that's where you two are both so well in your jobs, is, this creation of trust, and being honest means that you're trustworthy. And again, sometimes it's not easy to hear the truth, but I'll tell you, immediately it builds that relationship of trust in minutes. And I see that. And, I'm just so proud to be a part of it and to see it, especially this time of year. During the holiday season, it's so hard for these people to be gone from their families and to do this. And I see the courage that they have, and to be able to step out of their comfort zone and do this. I admire my clients so much, and it gives me so much pride to see them on a daily basis. It really is so fulfilling. I love again, the way I view it as an owner is I look at you, Wendy, and the stuff that you have to deal with, you do deal with their pasts and working some of those things out that they've dealt with in their past. And then I look at you, Todd, and you get to change the narrative and look towards the future with them. And I push that so hard with people who are looking for treatment, and it really makes so much sense. And I think that we just do it so amazing up here. I really do. I think it's amazing.
Well, thanks. And I got one more question for you, Wendy, and then
Okay.
we'll have Mark wrap it up with how to reach out to us. But this is more like, maybe take off your therapeutic hat for a minute, and just, this is more of a personal. If there's someone listening to your voice right now who's struggling, who's just in a dark place, they're not sure what to do, what would you tell them right now?
Oh, reach out to anyone, because you can't really trust your own mind sometimes. The thoughts that you're having, if you're in a dark place, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only reality, and that it has to stay that way.
Yeah.
And so we all need help sometimes. I need help sometimes. We all need, when we find ourselves getting into that place, that's when it's time to lean on somebody else. And that's something that we're really good at here, is guiding somebody out of that dark place. I've been in that dark place in my life. I have compassion. I have understanding of, what that's like and how to get out of there. And I think the very first step is to reach out to someone that, can be a light in that dark place. Yeah,
I love it. Great advice. Reach out for sure. Well, Wendy, I want to thank you for taking some time to be on the show. You're a huge part of Wasatch Recovery and why it's successful. You're a great example to Mark and I, and to everyone here. We're just grateful to have you, and I just hope you know how much we do appreciate you. And I may not say that enough to you as a friend, but I do.
You say it a lot, Todd.
I hope so.
And you're a very grateful person, and I adore you and love working with you.
Thank you.
Appreciate our friendship, both here and outside of here.
Thank you.
So
That
you
means
mean
a
a
lot.
lot to me, Todd.
Thanks, Wendy. Thanks for your time. So, Mark, if people want to reach out and they need help, what's the best way to do that?
Well, there's numerous ways. Obviously, we have our website, which is wasatchrecovery.com or livingaddictionfree.com. And you can text, you can call going through the website. You can also call me direct. And my number is 801-898-7778. You're welcome to call me anytime. And if I can help, obviously I'm here to help. If you're appropriate for us or somewhere else, I'm going to help guide you. And that's my commitment to those people who call. So feel free to call me anytime.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Mark. And like Wendy said earlier, if you want to come take a tour, come meet Mark, come meet Wendy, come meet myself or whatever. We'll talk you through what we do here. And I think once you see us, and you'll go, yeah, this place is great.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for Mark for your time as well. And Wendy, again, thank you so much. And guys, I told you this is going to be a good one, man. Thank you for tuning in. And if you have a loved one who's struggling and you don't know how to even maybe break the ice, send them this episode. It's a good way to break the ice. Send them the link to this, and then you can follow up with a conversation. And that does show that you really do care about them. And anyway, we love you guys for tuning in. And again, guys, thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep.